How one man born and raised overseas changed Australia forever. Despite our problems, Australia's economy is the envy of the world, with historically low unemployment and a very high GDP per capita. You may ask then, who is responsible for Australia's current prosperity? Was it the pioneering market reforms of the Hawke-Keating era, or the steady hand of former Treasurer Peter Costello during the Howard era? Or did we just get lucky to live in a country with trillions of dollars of resources beneath our feet, combined with entrepreneurs with the pluck to dig them up? Whatever your view on this, and of course its mix of all these factors, one thing is certain. We all should be grateful for the life of one man who has had a big impact as all these three factors. Who is this man? Deng Xiaoping. Deng was the leader of China from 1978 to 1992 and played the driving role in opening up the economy to market reforms. Deng's secret was that he was not wedded to communism ideologically. It doesn't matter if the cat is black or white, or as long as it catches mice, he famously said. He just wanted to do whatever it took to lift his people out of poverty. Perhaps his flexible mind, surprising after being a fervent communist for decades, was due to his long time in captivity. You see, his own party held him captive 3 times during his long career, due internal politics of the party. This time in captivity gave him lots of time to ponder and reflect on what would lead his people to prosperity. This time allowed him to rethink his approach to socialism. In his words, poverty is not socialism, to be rich is glorious. Deng's words gave his people the freedom to set up shops and businesses to provide financial prosperity for their communities. Another important factor behind Deng's success was his fact-based approach to government. Rather than being wedded to ideology, Deng said, let's try different things and see what works. Seek truth from facts were the words he lived by, putting him at the odds with the communist diehards who only found truth in the words of Marx, Mao, and Lenin. So for example, Deng set up a special economic zone, a place where business and investment could flow freely. And when he inspected the zone a few years later and saw the magnificent skyscrapers and bustling business activity that had been created, he knew the experiment had been a success. The proof was in the pudding. Another factor behind Deng's great success was that he would study other countries like Japan and America, which were much further ahead economy than China. And he would find all ways to adopt their technology in China. For example, by copying Japan's advanced approach to steel production, Deng was able to ramp up China's steel production by a large percentage. Now, China is the world's biggest steel producer by a long shot, whereas when Deng took over it was Minnow. This has had a huge flow-on effect in demand for Australia's biggest exports, iron ore and coal, which are used to make steel. Yet, despite Deng's success in his position as leader of one of the world's most powerful countries, he was a humble man of few. When asked about his time in captivity, he replied with 2 words, patient waiting. When asked about his time in the war on a forced march, he replied, enduring hardship. Deng lived a very simple life, focused on the embitterment of his people. And his market reforms opened the way for the massive year-on-year growth that's allowed China to be on track to become the world's biggest economy. And it's this growth that has led to the great Asian dragon having such a tremendous appetite for our own minerals and resources. This insatiable demand, more than anything else, has led to the tremendous fortunes of entrepreneurs such as Andrew Forrest, Clive Palmers, and Gina Reinhardt, as well as obviously flooding the coffers of BHP and RIO. And this wealth has flooded through into the rest of our country in a variety of ways, including insulating us from the harshest effects of the GDP. So for that, we say thank you, Deng Xiaoping. You blessed our country with great prosperity.